How's it going, everyone? Sweet Daddy Brown here, and today we're going to be checking out Everspace. It is a space shooter slash roguelike type of game that was made by Rockfish Games and was released last month. I believe May 29th or something like that. And yeah, I already did a stream of it, but I thought I'd make a proper video covering a few more things in detail. And to start off, before we go right into the game, there are 3 types of ships you can choose. There is, as you can see, the Colonial Gunship, which is a heavy fighter. It doesn't have any shields, but it has a bunch of hull points and does a shit ton of damage. Scout, which I don't have at the moment. It's probably got a bunch of shields, not a good amount of hull points, but I'm assuming it's the most nimble of the 3 classes. And then you have the Colonial Interceptor, which has it's basically in between the Scout and the Gunship. Decent amount of hull points and a decent shield. Actually, I think it has more than the Scout. Yeah, the Scout only has 60 shield points. Not sure what's up with that. But we're going to be using the Colonial Interceptor, which is the medium ship. There's also a crafting system, which I'll get to in a bit. You can collect resources on the game, and you're able to upgrade your weapons and make consumable weapons. You can also find new weapons scattered around the galaxy, or the sectors, I suppose you could say. And here's a perk system. There's one for your pilot and one for your specific ship. So let's say if you're using another ship, your pilot perks will stay the same, your progress towards unlocking whatever you were working towards, but the specific ship perks will change. So you'll be researching different types of perks for different ships. Not the pilot section though. I think it shows it here. Let me check. Yeah, there we go. You see, it's different, but this stays the same. And it's basically just more hull points, more what's it called? More shield upgrades, other types of upgrades like more device slots, fuel capacity. You have fuel in this game. More you jump to a new sector, you use up fuel. And yeah, let's you can also change the color of the ship, which we'll be doing now. You can find new colors. I unlocked red, so I'll be doing that. Take this orange away. I find a red and black ship looks nice. Let's maybe no. Could use more colors. I'm gonna rock the red ship though. I find it looks nice. So before you start, you can choose your difficulty, and here's the differences between each difficulty. Easy gives you less credits. It's much easier, but you get 25% less credits. As you can see, the enemies are much easier to deal with, and there are less hazards. And harder, you get 25% more credits, but the enemies are much tougher, and so is the environment. So we're gonna go with normal. Launch that bad boy, and I'll probably be skipping a lot, just so you don't get bored, because there is a good amount of traveling. As you can see, there's challenges too. Shoot down 30 floodlights in a single run. Destroy 30 OCAR units are a type of enemy. And speaking of OCAR units, here they are. So you use your pulse lasers to take out their shields. Jesus Christ, I am getting hammered. But you use your pulse lasers to take out the shields, and damn, I just got jumped. I had a bad start here. It's usually not this chaotic when you start out, so I'm gonna have to use my missiles so our hit points don't get just absolutely demolished. As you saw, the drones were pretty easy to take out. They have no shields, but yeah, what's this sensor relay? Alright, that's a passive device. You can find devices and salvage them if you don't need them. It increases the ship's sensor range by a small percentage. So we could either trade in our shield, which would be idiotic because the shield is quite handy to have, and this is one you could trade into weapon overdrive, which boosts your weapon damage. and cooldown duration. But we're not gonna use this, so we'll salvage the sensor relay. Alright, so I decided to just salvage that since we didn't need it. And yeah, we could keep carrying on. Let's see. So here are our devices. You have your primary weapons, which are, right now I have the pulse laser and the Gatling. This does kinetic damage, and the pulse laser does energy damage. I suppose that's the proper word. But it also consumes, these items consume your ship's energy, which is, as you can see, this green bar that's going down the more I boost and move my ship. So that consumes energy. You gotta keep an eye out, because if you don't have energy, you won't be able to boost out of combat or even attack your enemies. And what you just saw there is harvested a plasma cloud, which gave us some resources. Ooh, I keep pressing escape trying to pause it, but our resources are down here. We got plasma, compound, a lot of resources, and you can see what resources you need to upgrade a weapon here. Here's where it shows you required resources. I would need crystal, plasma, and scrap to upgrade this pulse laser. You could also figure out how to make a new one. It shows you the resources that you need to make a new one here. So yeah, that's how you make your items. And then we have consumable items over here that are pretty much consumables. This is going to give us a shield boost. And right down here is our fuel. Like I mentioned earlier, you need that to jump from sector to sector. So you can go around and collect fuel from... they got fuel tanks lying around and whatnot. And I think some salvage areas have fuel from wrecked ships. And these are your credits. You use them after your ship gets blown up. Now then, for repairs, you need what are called nanobots. So if you get into trouble, you gotta make sure you have some nanobots to repair your ship, or else you won't be able to repair your ship. And you also take component damage, as you can see here. Primary weapons are okay, everything's okay. So it's kind of like Elite Dangerous in a way, where every component can take damage, but you can't target sub-components, I believe that's what they call them. You can't actually target them, but they do take damage. So something to keep in mind. Here's the star map. This is where you jump from sector to sector. Right now we're here, and we can choose to jump from any of these three. If we upgrade our scanner, as it says here, it tells us what the threat level would be. So if you don't want to go into a high risk area, it would tell you which one had the lowest risk. So that's why there are multiple routes. But for now, we don't have a good scanner, so we don't need that. And here are the challenges, as I mentioned earlier. Game stats, ship hull points, blueprints. Oh, wait a minute. It's the first time I see this. What are these blueprints for? That's interesting. Enhancements, something I don't have. Now then, so from now on, that's enough. I just wanted to get all the explanation out of the way. There's also a neutral faction called the GNB. I forgot the actual name, but it's called the GNB, and they'll help you out. But if you attack them, you'll aggro the whole the faction in the next two areas. So you gotta keep in mind, there are some transport ships that they guard from time to time. So if you're gonna be like a pirate of sorts, you can attack them, but you won't have any allies. Basically, they're your only ally in this hostile space. So it'd be pretty dumb to piss them off unless you were ready. And as you can see, I think I hit the ship wreckage, and that just demolished my health. Well, demolish is a bit of an overstatement, but it's saturation, I mean, but it did a good amount of damage to my health. The damage went through the shields, which unlike Elite Dangerous, where the damage is negated by the shield. It seems kinetic damage At least with large objects doesn't actually count. Let's test it. Let's test kinetic damage and see. Let me check. Oh no, the shield does take the damage. That's weird. I guess my health was that low. Oh. Now we have a dirt. You'll find some outposts like this that are controlled by the outlaws. Usually they have turrets and SAMs, missile turrets, I guess you could call them. And they usually have a few containers lying around, which is where you get more items, more weapons, more resources, stuff like that. So here we find ourselves with a beam laser. And beam laser has a longer range than your average weapons. It's obviously a beam weapon. It's kind of like elite and dangerous. They usually have a long range, but it doesn't have as much of it's not as effective against shields as the pulse laser is. Actually, the range isn't as good as the pulse laser, as you can see here. You compare here. For some reason I thought it would. But it's basically like a balance. It does more damage to the hull than the pulse laser, but it does less damage to the shields. So we're gonna be using it for the hell of it, cause I didn't use it in the stream, so might as well use it here. And now we picked up a time extender. This basically slows down time, so it's pretty damn nice in my opinion. So we're gonna swap this and salvage the weapon overdrive. So it's basically, let's see if I can find someone to use it as an example. I'll skip to when I find something. Alright, so as you can see there, I'm getting a warning called that Okar forces are inbound, and this is basically what happens if you stay in an area for far too long. You get a swarm of enemies, like a strong enemy fleet, come into the sector and just start tearing shit up. As you can see, my shields are going down pretty quickly. But yeah, at the early levels, it's definitely not recommended to fight them, even later on, because they just keep getting stronger. So they're quite strong. I'm gonna use the time extender for the hell of it, so you can see. As you can see, it slows down time, which is quite nice. And then I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Because I can't deal with them at the moment. That's just gonna get us killed. And I'll skip to when something new comes up. Actually, no, I'll show the treble. So yeah, this is where you travel. Bam, we'll head to this new area. Okay, we have some more enemies. Let's test out our laser. It is quite nice. Not bad. I think I'd replace this with the Gatling. Let's see. There we go. Not bad. Another Okar drone. These are pretty easy. Find ourselves some credits. What is... Oh, fighter. Oh boy. So, someone's got some missiles over here, huh? Oh yeah, as you can see, this is not that good against shields. So it's definitely better to keep your laser. And if you're gonna replace something with the beam lasers, replace it with a Gatling. But I'm gonna be showing you, I forgot to mention that there is I think I mentioned this game has VR. I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention that in this video. And as you can see, you can switch to first person, so that would be pretty nice to play in VR. Pretty cool. Oh, heavy missiles, so this is much better than our current missiles that we have, more damage. Fire rate is slower though, so we'll switch to that. And then we'll salvage the light missiles. Salvage. Now we'll be doing a good amount of damage. Alright, so we found ourselves a shipwreck, and there are certain items, well, not items, but there are certain things you can scan. This ship has a log. Sometimes you'll find some logs to add more detail to the world, and Usually you just get credits from scanning ships, and I believe there are stations that you can scan which will show new objectives on the map. Oh, hello. So there's also that. Let me test out the heavy missile on this turret. Ooh, makes some big boom, so that's quite nice. Oh boy, so we got an Ogar fighter on our ass, and I'm gonna test out how the missile does against the shield. Oh wow! So as you can see, these heavy missiles are pretty strong. Even if they have shields, they just completely wipe out these fellas. So it's quite good to have, much better than a light missile. It just comes at a lower quantity that you can keep, but you can always just build some more. And how much would we need? We'd need some ore, plasma, and scrap. So that's actually quite easy to craft the heavies, and you could also craft the light, it seems. If you need some more, you only have one slot for secondaries, at least as default, so we'll craft some more. Alright, and right now we've reached the final spot in the sector. This is the first sector. I usually just call them sub-sectors, the points we hop from point to point. And this is the jump gate that will take us to the next sector, sector 2. So, oh boy, do a bit of action here. May please. Oh, my beam lasers. I picked up some new ones that should do more damage to shields, but does not seem to be the case. These fighters. Oh, fuck. Alright, we're gonna have to do it. They're heavy missiles, because these fighters are the real deal. Oh, pulse laser. Alright, so we'll switch over to Gatling. So this is a neutral service station. You could come in and stay nice and safe. Here you can repair your ship if you don't have any nanomachines, which I actually don't, so you would spend some of your credits to actually fix it. So I would it depends on if you want to extend your run, like you're already doing well, you don't mind spending credits, and you think you can go even further. But since oh shit, I used one. Crap. Seems there's a limited amount, as you can see. Oh, actually no, it's just one left because that would just top me off. But yeah, might as well do it. So I'm doing this video and I want to see how far I can go and show off. It seems the station does not protect you from the lasers. Enemy fire, I mean. So that's something to keep in mind. And we are gonna try to take care of these guys because we have 4 heavy missiles. That's one down. This guy, we get our pulse laser back, so should be able to take care of his shields. And usually with these fighters, damn it, it's not the they don't have a good hull, basically. That's what I want to say. It's just that they got quite a decent speed. For some reason I can't aim, but their hull isn't really that good. Nice, there we go. So we completed a challenge, destroyed 10 Orc units in a single run. Good stuff. Alright, and now we're gonna take the jump gate. If you're wondering what that warning is, it's missiles, and it kind of pissed off the repair station because there was something you could pick up there, like a container, and oh fuck, apparently they don't approve of you taking their containers. And here's how the jump to the next sector looks. There we go. Sometimes you'll find... Yeah, there we go. Sometimes you'll find sectors, at least in the first one you jump in the second sector, this usually happens to me, where your sensors are screwed over. Or in this case, the jump... Oh shit. The jump is suppressed. Because they have some special units that are suppressing your jump and whatnot. So you gotta find them, blow them up, and you should be able to jump out safely. Also, you'll find stronger units along the way, the further you progress, which is kind of obvious. Alright, so here is where the jump suppressor is. As you can see, my frame's going down a bit because... oh crap. This is quite... oh shit. You gotta watch out, these are mines. And they go boom. If you're not careful. They're kind of proximity mines. Oh, damn it, these guys are rude. Alright. I'm gonna start shit, mate. There we go. This is the guy that's actually doing damage, so... damn. And we're out of missiles, so I'll have to fix that in a bit. But I just wanna... oh, for fuck's sake. There's a lot of enemies here. I forgot how far the lasers reach. It's actually quite nice. But anyway, let's see if I can lose them in here. Because I just want to show... oh, fuck. Oh my god. These guys. You know what? You're us over here. Okay. We're gonna have to craft ourselves a missile because these guys are being fucking assholes. Get ourselves some heavy missiles there, and time slow down. That's one down, and that's another one down. Anyone else? Anyone want to start shit? No, that's what I thought. Okay then. Now then, where were we? Oh shit! As you can see, those are proximity mines, so you gotta be careful. For some reason, my lasers aren't blowing them up. I guess it's those things on the end that cause it to explode. So we'll go through here, do a bit of first person. And these things are quite pesky because it's close quarters. So you gotta be very careful when you're inside. And whoa, maybe I just have to hack it. Yeah, there we go. So you hack that, and now you can jump out. There we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Seems I hit a few mines.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow, for some reason I'm not able to find any nanobots. I'm not sure what is the reason, and what the hell is this? Is this a plasma storm? Oh fuck. I don't think we're gonna make it through this though. Well, actually, this guy's quite easy to take out. There we go. It's probably not alone though, but let's get in here and try to hack this.
Lightning in space? How?
Magnetic fields causing friction.
Oh, that's actually not what I was looking for. Drone overdrive, salvage.
An anomaly.
But quite visually striking.
Oh Jesus! So note to self: don't head near the. I think those are. I don't know, plasma storms. Is that what you call them? I'm not that savvy in space phenomena. But yeah, we'll try to avoid that. No idea where the suppressor is actually located at. Probably here. I hear a lot of bad things. Yep. Oh, that's a rock. Oh boy. Seems like a base, so this would be the right place to investigate. This guy just blew himself up. Nice. Oh, nanobots. So, finally got ourselves some nanobots, and I can show how much they can actually repair. So since we're able to repair the ship all the way to here, which is nice. It does take a bit of time to repair, so stay safe while you're doing it. And I'm not sure if it visually... No, it didn't visually. We still have a few holes here and there.
Well executed.
Alright, so as you can see, I am in a bit of a bind right now. We got some Okar forces that happen to join in on the fun. And I gotta hack this to get away and find a jump. So I'm gonna try to get the hell out of here. slowdown hopefully helps me out somehow. And ooh, we made it. So that was a close one. Also, as you can see, we made it out alive, but we didn't get out unscathed. Our primary weapons were damaged. And it seems our fire rate has been decreased, and the consumption for the energy it uses is up by 200%, so we'll have to repair this. We'll need some nanobots, a few resources, and some crystals, so we're pretty screwed unless we find a station to fix ourselves up. So, oh jeez. Now we got some drones over here. So you can see the rate of fire is pretty bad now. Let's slow down real quick. Drop a plasma mine. Where is that going? Oh, that was from behind. And hopefully these fellas will help out, because we are not in any ideal form to save ourselves here. Crap, that's just a field transport. How to deal with this? I have a missile. Take that. Nice. Oh, blueprint. Nice. I agree with that. And as you can see, this area is much harder than the last one.
I've been detected.
Oh boy. Am I about to get annihilated here? I'm trying to drop some mines, but and there we go. I got wrecked. I did not have any luck with finding nanobots, but we did find some new blueprints. Shield Booster Mark II. So, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of the Shield Booster, but this one should be better than the default one. And it tells you your stats. We lasted 29 minutes on that run. I got 51 kills, a new record. It tells you when you got a new record, how many sectors you made it through, credits, loots, etc, etc. Now, we'll go back to the hangar, and I'll show you how you unlock the new perks. So, you can spend it on the ship you're currently using, or another one. And since I'm going to be testing out the gunship next, I'll just upgrade some of the things for it, actually. Adds additional information to the sector map. I'm gonna go with this, so we get some info to the sector, and there we go, fully got it. So what will it tell us? Shows natural hazards on the map, and the next level shows threat level, so we'll be able to see the threat levels, and the next scanner upgrade, it'll show us what hazards are on that level. And let's see, damage repair. We got holes, armor for the gunship. Since you don't have any shields, it reduces the damage dealt to your hull. That is quite handy, so we'll go for that. Go for that again. And how many hull points you have? Mat speed. So we'll just go for a tanky build for this. Energy capacity increases the total energy capacity. That's actually quite nice. I like increasing how much credit you find, because it basically helps you get more credits, which means you could get the upgrades quicker and whatnot. So in games like roguelike games like this one and what was it, Dead Cells, I usually go for I rush the credit bonus and whatnot. But yeah, that's it for this episode of Everspace. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. If you want to see more gameplay of the game, I do have a stream that I did a few days ago, and the link should be in the comment section or description down below. And you could also check out my Twitch channel to see whenever I stream. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next.